Please stay live. Please stay live. Yes, OBS. Yes. Thank you, OBS. Thank you. Dear gracious OBS, thank you for working. Dear God. Hello, people. Let's update that calendar, baby. What's up, everybody? Oh. Dog. You have no idea how happy I am to be on stream right now. Today's been exhausting. Dear God. Alright, updating the calendar right now. Just formatting everyone's name to fit into one message. Alright. Deck's been updated with the names of the people. Nice. Hola. Doing some bookbinding. What is bookbinding a notebook? I feel like I should know what that means, and for some reason I can't place what that is in my head. Good to see you. Oh my God. Ha! Oh, man. Oh, that's cool. I want to do that. I've been learning to draw anime. Oh, KV, that's awesome. Isn't that such a good feeling when you know you have a deck ready for you at home to try? Oh, I get to play Commander for the first time in a month this Saturday. I totally forgot. Yeah. Oh, man. Dude. I totally forgot. Sweet. So I'm a part of a small business owners group nearby, and there's these two Christian guys that own a local coffee shop. We're gonna get to go play Commander with them and my wife. It's gonna be amazing. Yes. Okay. Y'all. Oh, Darth. I'll make sure you get where to put it after a stream. I got you, bro. So I've got a couple decks that I can play. I'll pull them out real quick while we're chatting. While we're hanging out. I hope my, oh, ew, my cat drooled on my... My cat drooled on my... My cat drooled all over my deck box. Ew. Why is that so funny? Oh, it's funny. Are all my commanders here on the end of my deck box? Let's see. No. Oh, they are. There we go. All right. I will show you guys what I'm up to. Oh, that's awesome, Bill. We have another kitty cat control style deck today. Yeah, cat. So my cat, when it's really happy and it purrs, it drools. Like, I'm not kidding. It's like, and it just drools everywhere. I'm going to be playing my drool deck. So, of course, as many of you know about me, I do love many of the decks I have built. I know, shocking. Let's zoom in here today. We got Garland we've got the blind reanimator. Then we have a special one. Oh no, I don't have the other one with me. Well, Wandering Minstrel and Luris, 5-color landfall fun. We have Omnath. We have the reverse mana curve Omnath. I don't know if you guys have watched that video yet. Very fun one. I'm not gonna play this, but I'm bringing it. I do have my Yisan list, which 2 of you have been begging for this list. It's almost done. I've been working on it so hard. I have my artist proof sliver deck. That's gonna be a video soon. But I've been working with one of the artists that makes the slivers. Hope you guys are excited. I have some cool, like, I've got multiple Yisan artist proofs, but they don't show up well on a green screen. Of course, we have reverse landfall. Got AC. I have Raffine Doomsday. That one's cool. Oh yeah, Yisan will never be fair. Oh, another Yisan altar. And then for CDH, if we do play any, Rogsai. And I have artist proofs of Rog, Rack, and Silas as Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask. Pretty cool. And then I got some new tokens. One of Magic's artists actually lives locally to me. We've been hanging out. It's pretty cool. And he made me some tokens for my Merfolk deck. Oh, that's Timna. Sorry. I know there's a lot. There's a lot of them. Oh, and then that is just a regular artist proof of a different card. Yeah. I love this Timna, though. Oh. It's not a Timna artist proof, though. That'd be worth thousands. That'd be insane. It's Calyx, Guided by Fate on the back. But I use it as my Timna. I don't try to like pass it off as a real Timna artist proof. That'd be lying. Other than that, I got Aura Farm in here, I think. I think I've got the Aura Farm. Right? Aura Farm's in here somewhere, right? I don't know where my Aura Farm is, but I have an Aura Farm in here somewhere. The Aura Farm deck that I'm sure some of you at least have heard about that I made. There's the cards for it, but where is the commander? Huh. Okay, I think whoever played this deck last accidentally shuffled the commander in. I can't find him. Yeah. I lent this deck out recently. I think they shuffled the commander in. Oh, maybe not. Oh, they're there. Yep. And then y'all remember Aura Farm, the deck I made. Yep. That's the plan. My wife is going to be playing Obraya, the Flash Fairy Commander. It's going to be fun. But let's get on with the show today. We've got some stuff to discuss, which is always fun. I love doing that. Matt Hop's Unreal Vivid Pens. Okay. I'm still waiting on that coffee whiskey to get to me that you recommended me. I'm really excited. I had something else I was going to say. Anyway. So, who do we have for decks today? Today on the calendar. Let's pull out the calendar here. Also, let me... Oh, wait. Duh, I can do this. There we go. Haha. Yeah. If you recommend me something, I'll try it. Always. Oh, I got it for cheap, though, because I emailed them, and I'm like, I'm a YouTuber. Yay. Mono green toff, and why is it $70? Mono green toff? Whenever a land you control enters the battlefield, get an experience counter. Whenever you attack, Earthbend X, where X is the number of experience counters. I do remember that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's the ultimate landfall commander. And, well, not power level, but it's the most landfall commander ever. Like, the landfall makes lands fight. That's kind of the coolest landfall commander flavor-wise ever made. I mean... Be real. It's literally what happens when land falls? It attacks. Like that's kind of lit. I mean, pretty cool. It's gonna be popular. More people just are, you know, the set's not been out that long. People got to open more product before things, you know, go back down in price. It's like 55 now, I think. I only buy cards once a new set's been out for 2 weeks. Exactly. Yeah, Wolfie. 100%. So, today, on the calendar, we have Connor, 8-Bit, Sir Trekkie, Newt, Andrew VC, Ethan, Trock and Matt, or sorry, no, Sir Trekkie already got his. We did his early. Sorry about that. Connor, 8-Bit, Newt, Andrew VC, Ethan, Talkin' Matt, Silver Blitz, Scott, William, Triff. We may do that one live for Triff. Emma and Warzone. And that is on the calendar. Also, shirts are being sent out today. So if you guys were one of the people that early bird bought a shirt, they have been made. They are hung up. They have been steamed and packaged. And I am taking them to the post office before I go to dinner with my pastor. What did you order this time, Ethan? Let me check this out. I made yours like last week, I think. All right, let's see what you ordered. Yeah, we got, okay, 8-Bit, Andrew, Connor, Ethan, Newt, Scott, Silver Blitz, Trocket Master, Warzone, William, and then Triff's is unfinished because let me read this out. Triff, you said you weren't sure. I've thought about a Toph, the first Metal Bender deck. However, I've been thinking about a Niv Mizzet Pentacolor Ravnica themed deck. And then you said, I want a deck that makes me burn my head and do some crazy combos at the same time. I want to feel like L from Death Note. And I took that personally because Death Note is one of my favorite shows of all time. And I am very close to getting a Death Note tattoo at this point. And so I wanted to put a little more time into that deck just because it got a little personal for me in a good way. So I'm still putting some more effort into that one. Just because I wanted to style it around L. I've been having a hard time deciding on the commander because realistically, the perfect commander for an L style deck, it's an Ala, and it's not even close. Like, L never gets in the field. That's the point. And so then you do all the crazy combos with Eminence, and I just think that's super cool. But I'm sure there's something else out there, because to me, L is an Orzhov deck when I like because of justice and truth. But it's kind of, maybe he's Esper, maybe like L kind of feels Esper. Yeah, L feels very Esper to me. And then Kira feels like Grixis. So, today we have a Zergo list, a Raynar the Ever Watchful, Dakon Blade, Secret, another Secret, Yoshtola Knight, Jin Sakai, Ikra Shiriki Kedis, oh, that was supposed to be Secret, and then Ludovic Necrogenesis, and Olag Ludovic's Hubris. But a couple of them, I was asked to pick the commander, so I don't want to spoil it. So, yeah. How's everybody doing? Everyone ready to get into the decks today? Y'all ready? I guess I haven't posted on Twitter that I'm streaming. I should probably do that too real quick. Ooh, Kadena. Ooh, I like it. I like that a lot. That's going. I like the way you think. You were born ready, Ethan? Beautiful. Let me alert the fellows on other social media as we are streaming. Boonk. Oh. I just saw who is that? Ethan on I have names turned off on Discord right now so I don't accidentally dox anyone, so someone just sent me a message. It's funny. Oh my gosh, I just had my first sip of coffee. Sorry guys, I don't know if you saw my face. Oh my gosh. Oh, that felt good. Oh, I needed that. I really needed that sip of coffee. Holy crap. Wow. Oh. I'm like taking a few seconds to just like. Ah. Oh. Well, as we start, let me show you guys something kind of funny. I am learning to draw. And so I decided to do the 100-day drawing challenge. I'm surprised no one's asked you for a phage list. I don't know. I don't know if I've done a phage list yet. I'll have to check. Not off the top of my head. So I'll turn myself over to the mainstream thingy here. Boop. So here's some of the drawings I've been working on. That's the first one. This was day one. Tried my hand at a little anime on day one, as you can see. And I was like, okay, I kind of like this. Try it out some more. And then I tried doing some Death Note panels They turned out okay. You can see L's face is really wonky. Like the chin's really messed up, you know? Wasn't that good. And then I tried my hand at Power and Ghetto from... Power doesn't look good. Power's face is too wide. But Ghetto looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with Ghetto. Yeah, for day 2. I'm happy with that for day 2. You know? I'll take it. There's definitely room for improvement, but like no duh, you know? So I'm hoping by the end of the 100 days, I'm going to have the ability to take what is an idea within my brain and put it onto a, you know, some kind of card. Because I would love to get better at drawing from imagination, because I'm good at altering and like changing something that's already been created. Yeah, I can make Isan part of the Death Note universe. I love that. Yeah. But by the end of it, I'm hoping I can like actually create like original works that are more high quality. Because like this isn't bad. I'm pretty happy with that part, that top part. That's a solid drawing. And even this one, like that one's fine. Just not very interesting. You know? So, yeah. We're getting there. Without further ado, everybody, let's get to our first deck of the day. For 8-bit, Zergo Storm Render, everybody. So, this deck was requested to me by 8-bit, and 8-bit asked... Let's get what... Okay. 8-bit asked, "Hello, DefCat. I have been looking to change up my old Aristocrat deck for a while. After a bit of looking around, I finally settled on Zergo Storm Render. Feel free to take full control and build the deck however you want, or how everything would be best. I would like it, however, to fall into bracket 3, Full on Evil." Yeah, Wolfie, I felt like that one kind of stands out as well. I agree with that completely. Yeah. Totally agree with that. I'm going to assume if I at everyone on Discord that stream's starting, that we'll get more people in here. Because right now there's not a lot of people in here, and I would hate for people to miss out. So I'm just going to go for it again real quick. Because we only have like, what, 7 people watching? I just don't want someone to miss their deck if they can see it live. So I'm going to shoot people and at everyone real quick. Bum, 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 bum. Is the audio quality good? Are we fine with the volume of the, Is the volume of the music okay with everybody? Notification jump scare. Awesome. Okay, everybody. So, our first one is for 8-bit Zergo. Full on Evil, bracket 3, no budget. So, with no budget, this deck came out to $4,500. So, it'll obviously be proxied. The 3 game changers I settled on were... Oh, what? Demonic Tutor's not... Or Jessica's Will's not supposed to be in there. Were Demonic Tutor, Enlightened Tutor, and Vampiric Tutor. And then... this is the non-bracket 3 version of the deck. Let me get this up real quick. I think it was Ancient Tomb that was added incorrectly. Right, okay. I see what happened now. My mana package got added to this when it wasn't supposed to. I was like, that's not bracket 3. What happened? What happened here? Okay. Okay, we're good now. Sorry about that. Some cards got added that weren't supposed to be in there. So, the deck style I decided to go with was actually improved greatly recently. Disguising the Resilient podcast. Thank you so much. Glad to see you as well. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. We're getting into the first deck of the day. So, this card, I cannot stress, is such an incredible all-star in any token deck at all. Because it says, whenever a creature with haste dies, you draw a card. It doesn't say non-token. It just says another creature. And token decks make so many tokens with haste. It is insane. So, like, I can't stress enough that Shadow the Hedgehog is legitimately one of the strongest cards in these deck styles by a long shot. It's incredible, like, how much work it puts in. It's amazing. Obviously, we put in Odratak, which triples all creature tokens, Mondrak, which doubles creature tokens, Exalted Sunborn, Elspeth, and Anointed Procession. Those are the white token doubling effects for Mardu. And then to kind of amp up that effect as well, I love things like Ogre Battle Driver, that when it enters, whenever another creature enters, that creature gets +2 and +0 and gains haste till end of turn. Like, dog. Any token deck instantly slam this card. So amazing. I wanted to spread the love a little bit in terms of making sure we had a bit of like a group slug. Yeah, Shadow and his goblin death ratio. So we got like Mirkwood Bats, we've got Perfros, and we've got Impact Tremors to make sure we're also consistently dealing damage, you know, as things come in. What's up, Goku? It's going very well. And we also have things like Bastion of Remembrance, where whenever a creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. Same with the Meat Hook Massacre. Really anything that constantly hits people. We did not put Mass Hysteria in, no. But we did, however, do one very fun thing with this list that I don't see a lot of these do. I feel like a lot of these lists have been missing out on this card, Will of the Mardu. It says, choose one. If you control a commander, you may choose both. Create a number of 1/1 red warrior tokens, each of the number of creatures target player controls. And then Will of the Mardu deals damage to target creature equal to the number of creatures you control. That is such a good card, and I feel like people missed it. Yes, it is on the calendar on the Discord for whose deck's getting done today. And soon it will be up on the website on a calendar, which is really exciting. So for the most part, with a Will of the Mardu deck, where we're trying to go wide and do things like that, this kind of acts as our Chandra's Ignition in a way, which is really cool. In terms of like taking out other people's creatures, I just like that a lot. But we also have things like Goblin Bombardment to sack our own creatures when we have Shadow out. Because Shadow says if it has haste and it dies, we get to draw a card. So let them attack in and then sack them. It'll be awesome. But again, you just got to make sure you don't have any cards that like say like, oh, things can't be sacked. Like the I think it's called the Master Returns or something like that. Master Multiplied. Charismatic Conqueror is also really awesome, and it is one of the best cards at low CMC at making tokens. It creates a 1/1 like vampire creature with lifelink whenever someone doesn't let something come in tapped. So amazing. This card should be in my eyes, in a lot of ways, outside of CDH, it's kind of the White Ristic Study. Like, no one's ever gonna let things come in tapped unless they just have Summoning Sickness and they don't need a blocker. Yeah, Wolfie, yeah, doing math is quite scary, agreed. Tempt with Bunnies, best token draw ever. We also have cards like Loyal Apprentice that print extra tokens, but my favorite inclusion is Mahadi Emporium Master. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each creature that died this turn. Again, not non-token, every creature. And then Thalas Reverent Medium. At the beginning of each end step, create X 1/1 White Spirit creature tokens with flying, where X is the number of creatures you created this turn, or tokens you created this turn. Not creature tokens, X of the number of tokens. Oh. Yeah. Whenever an artifact or creature enters the battlefield untapped or under an opponent's control, they may tap that permanent. If they don't, you create a 1/1 white creature token with flying. Or with lifelink, sorry. We also have backup win cons with Knuckles. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 30 or more artifacts, you win the game. We're going to be making those artifacts with Cavern Hoarder Dragon. Very fun. And then Copper Dragon, which should be in here. So, opening hands. What do you want in this deck? You need to cast Zergo. You have to have the mana for Zergo. Do not keep a hand that can't cast Zergo. Big bad, don't do it. End of story. That's all you need. Because Zergo is going to make sure you draw cards and make sure everything else goes fine. So we're always attempting to cast Zergo on turn 3 every single game. That should never not be in your game plan, no matter how cracked or crazy or, oh, I had Soul Ring in my hand. Always Zergo. The second thing we are looking for with Zergo is a token creator. That's it. Not a token doubler, not a token filter, draw extra. No, it needs to create the token itself. So we need Adeline. We need Charismatic Conqueror. We need Legion Warboss, Loyal Apprentice. We need Voice of Victory. And then we have a good amount of token creators within our enchantments as well. Bastion makes one right off the bat, which is really great. Within range, always needs something that creates tokens. Ink Shield suffices. It makes tokens. But yeah, be able to cast Zergo and something that makes tokens. That's your opening hand. So by turn 4, Zergo should draw you a card. And you should be making tokens. That's your turn 4 with this deck. How to win? For the most part, you have 2 ways. You either overwhelm the board with tokens, which is totally awesome and is super fun, or use one of our alternate ways to burn the table through things like Mirkwood Bats, Perforos, sacking it while we have things like Zolport Cutthroat out. Alternate ways to deal damage, basically. So those are your 2 ways. And outside of that, it's pretty straightforward. I included 37 lands because I think missing a land drop in this deck is really, really freaking awful. And so I wanted to avoid that at all costs. But yeah, let's do a quick little play test. Awesome. Yeah, this is exactly what we asked for. We've got something that makes tokens. We have a tutor to go get something to make those tokens even better. And then we have a payoff with Ancient Copper Dragon. And we can cast our commander. So, draw for turn, Verdant Catacombs, go get ourselves a Blood Crypt. Oh, not Blood Crypt. We want, oh my gosh, Black-White, not Hollowed Fountain. Oh my gosh, Godless Shrine. Godless Shrine. And then tap Enlightened Tutor before end step. We're going to go get the token doubler Anointed Procession. Bonk. Put that on top of our library. Draw for turn. Scalding Tarn. Go get Blood Crypt. Oops. Can't type today. Jesus. Blood Crypt. And then Charismatic Conqueror. We'll say on average it makes 1 a turn. Like a little vamp. Little vampy. Bonk. Awesome. Next turn, Exotic Orchard. Zergo. Awesome. And then whenever this creature attacks, create a tapped and attacking 1/1 Red Warrior token, sacrifice at the beginning of the end step. And then this is whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, draw a card if it was attacking. Otherwise, each opponent loses 1 life. Totally fine. We'll attack him with our vampire. Hopefully someone blocks it. Goes to graveyard. And then we will draw a card. Whoops. Didn't mean to open my library. Awesome. Next turn, we'll say 1 more vampire. Whatever. Oh, whoops. Oh, I didn't put the true duels in here because it is in bracket 3, and some people get a little awkward, and I don't want to put you guys in that situation where you have someone being rude to you just because you have a nice land. And never mind, I didn't do that with this because it said full on evil. I forgot. I was like, wait a minute, maybe you're right. And then we'll put Anointed Procession down. We'll attack in, make 2 warriors. Bonk. Awesome. They're tapped and attacking. Let's say they both die. We get to draw 2 cards. Awesome. And then we'll make 2 more vampires. This is, you know. Yeah, my grandpa gave me this Tundra. This makes sense, right? This game plan makes sense. We play a land. We play a value piece. We play a bigger value piece. We play a bigger value piece. We play things that double those value pieces, and we win the game. It's very straightforward, but it's very effective. It's like, oh yeah, a hammer. Haha. What are you going to do with that? What idiot uses a hammer? And now you're missing half your skull. It's like, the deck does what it's supposed to do. So, let me talk to you about the theory of token creation decks for a second, guys, because I think it's really interesting. I find a lot of fun in delving into the nuances of deck building practices, and the one that I found is online when researching this commander in preparation of creating it. Many people, many Magic the Gathering players, they, for some reason, think token decks are better with extra combat. You're swinging with 1/1s. They're going to die. There's going to be less to swing with in the next combat, and they're very easy to block. And if you're so wide that a second combat wins you the game, you're probably already wide enough to win. That's really wide. That's thick. And so I think the better practice is to have something that helps you when you're not wide and when you're wide. So I prefer having a more aristocrats approach to tokens go wide decks for that reason. So instead of including the white Craterhoof with this deck that many people do, I just thought it was better to include more redundancy for our ping game plan. I just think it works better. It's not to say you can't include it. Maybe cut 1 land, not a big deal. But just the way I like to play it. Andrew VC. I love the message you left me for this deck. I cannot wait to read it. Very endearing. Get some hydration going. Yeah, Zergo does hit like a semi-truck. Absolutely. Andrew, you left me this. I would like either Raynar the Everwatchful or Brago the Eternal King. Hey Defcat, my first steps into Magic came when I bought my first precon. A friend of mine thought I would enjoy Commander more than Standard and suggested a precon at the lowest, cheapest bar for entry. I went to my LGS and I found Raynar sitting on the shelf, forgotten and neglected. I loved that he wasn't popular. I like Foretell as a mechanic, and I liked winning low power games with a deck people very much wrote off. So here's my challenge for you. What would a Raynar precon look like if it was built by you? Can it be a commander in a good spot? Is he relegated to the 99 in favor of better Foretell Spirit commanders? Do you build this deck with only cards from Kaldheim or before? I want to let you cook because we've come to eat. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I have Everth Victory Plunder deck that loves token sacrificing. Yeah. Could add Taste of Karlov for life gain Vig double death triggers. Always a good thing. Totally agree. Yeah, she does hit every opponent. I tried to build Necrobloom as an Ellis Ilkor Aristocrats spiced in some landfall. Ooh, I like it. I like it, Ethan. I like it. So, Raynar the Everwatchful. I wanted to stay true to your lovely and gorgeous commander, by the way. Art's amazing. Super cool guy. So I wanted to make a deck that did something that I feel like does a cool extra little bit to whenever you exile 1 or more cards from your hand or permanents from your battlefield. So I added some cards that are a little bit extra, such as Ancestral Visions, which is rather than cast a spell from your hand, pay 1 and then exile it. So we have suspend cards that activate our commander. We obviously have many foretell cards. We have things to reduce foretell costs, which is very fun. And then we have tons of ways to exile things from the battlefield in order to constantly make 1/1 spirit tokens. And I honestly think he's very strong for this. Illustrious Wanderglyph is the most underrated token maker. Ooh, I like that. I really believe that he's actually one of the stronger spirit tokens, genuinely. Because Millicent, for example, says, whenever Millicent, Restless, Renovant, or another token spirit you control dies or deals combat damage to a player, create a 1/1 spirit token with flying. That's fine and all. This is, like, comes out pretty early too, because he costs 1 less for each spirit you control. But at the end of the day, you can actually build around both of Raynor's abilities. The first foretell being 0, and whenever you exile 1 or more cards from your hand or permanents from the battlefield, dude, there are a lot of combos with this, and there's a lot of things. So, the mechanics around this deck rely upon you using flicker mechanics. Flicker Wisp is amazing. When Flicker Wisp enters the battlefield, exile another target permanent. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner control at the beginning of the next end step. This constantly makes you value. And one of my favorite things to exile is something like Peregrine Drake, which says whenever Peregrine Drake enters the battlefield, untap 5 lands. So we're going to use the cards. Where is it? Oh, that's weird. Did it get unadded from the deck? What? Where's Displacer Kitten? That was weird. Like Displacer Kitten. Why is it saying there's more than 99 cards? Oh, that's why. This deck was on a budget. I had to put it to the sideboard. That's, I was like, it's already in the deck. Cards like Displacer Kitten are amazing for this, and I think really need to be in this deck. But you did have a $200 to $300 budget that I stuck to. But if you can afford it, Displacer Kitten's $30. It's insane, and it constantly, makes you exile and blink cards. But more budget options: Yorion Sky Nomad. Whenever Yorion enters the battlefield, exile any number of target non-land permanents you control. Return those cards to the battlefield at the beginning of your next end step. Super awesome. Archaeomancer, and then we can constantly flicker cards like Yorion using Essence Flux and Cloud Shift, which is another card that for some reason I don't see here, even though I added it. It wasn't in the sideboard either. There we go, Cloud Shift. Where is it? There it is, Cloud Shift. Exile target creature you control, then return to the battlefield under your control. And so the deck is all about blinking constantly and making lots and lots and lots of spirits. It's very fun. In your opening hand, you actually, it's a little different. So normally what I would suggest in a deck like this that normally relies really heavily on the commander, I actually think you don't need to absolutely guarantee you can cast your commander with your opening hand. I think 3 mana is fine, even though he's 4 mana, just because 2 of his mana is generic. So whatever you get after those 3 mana is fine, as long as you have blue and white in your opening hand. That's all you really need. So with that, what you got to do with this commander is make sure you have something in your hand that gains you advantage by turn 3, because otherwise you're doing nothing until turn 4 and casting your commander, and it's going to get really boring. One of my favorite things to make sure you have in your hand, in your opening hand, is something like Aether Channeler or Muldrifter that say when this entered the battlefield, because we're going to figure out ways to flicker it later. You just need something that's good when it's in the battlefield. A Starfield Vocalist, Glasspool Mimic, Felidar Guardian, definitely Soul Herder, anything that really builds off it. So one of those cards. So let me show you what happens by turn 4 in a deck like this. Let's go to playtest. Awesome. This is a cool hand. I like this one a lot. But sadly, it doesn't have anything that enters. So we're going to flip that one around. There we go. Yeah, we got 3 mana. And then we have an instant that helps us out, an instant, and then a creature that we like that flickers. Really great. Okay. So play a land for turn. Cool. Nothing to play on turn 1. Next turn, play a land. And then we have a couple things that allow us to like foretell and get ahead, but foretelling is so much better after our commander's out that we're just going to cast reality shift on someone who like got an early commander out and keep the game a little bit less one-sided in that way. We keep our mana up and do some more controlling. Thankfully, we do have some like cool control magic in our hand. So we'll wait for the next turn, pay 3 for this to come in untapped, and we're going to play Rainer. And again, this is bracket 2 precon level, so we're supposed to be playing on curve. This isn't like slow for what precons are supposed to be like. Next, we're going to play Starfield Vocalist, and we're going to set up some awesome stuff, and then we're going to foretell Sage of the Beyond and make a token spirit. And then Sage of Beyond is foretold. It says spells you cast from anywhere other than your hand cost 2 less to cast. Awesome. So his new cost, for example, if he was out, his new cost would be 3. He's still 5 mana to cast, but he has been foretold. Next turn, we have a card to foretell, so we can. So we'll foretell Mystic Reflections. We'll make another token. But what I'm interested in doing is playing out something that ETBs and like comes in and does something interesting, which would be really cool. But we don't have anything like that yet. So we're going to set up, we're going to Lightning Greaves, attach to Rainer, and then we're going to Mystic Reflections, choose target non-legendary creature. The next time one or more creatures or planeswalker enter the battlefield this turn, they enter as a copy. And so that has a stipulation of this turn, so you need to hold on to that one. But the idea is that you slowly build up these value engines with Rainer out, and then once you're a little bit down the line and you have more things that ETB in exile, like Felidar Guardian or anything like that, you're going to be making an insane amount of tokens. It's very fun. To upgrade this deck, I would highly suggest what I put in the sideboard for you, which was the Moonchecker Cavalry, Displacer Kitten, Thassa's Deep Dwelling, and Anointed Procession. Very fun. And in my head, you reality shifted my turn, Suzanne. So, yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, and again, this is supposed to be pre-con, so we're looking to end the game by turn 8 at the earliest. So I think that's really where this deck's going to pop off. I did include some fun stuff like Alrund's Epiphany. I love having the extra turns. Also, Kaldheim's one of my favorite sets ever made, so it was fun making a deck that did revolve around Kaldheim's mechanic. It's very fun. But yeah, I hope you enjoy, Andrew. I think you're going to do your man proud. Connor. Dack-on Blade, baby. I was not expecting to build a Dack-on Blade deck today. That was cool. That was not on my list. Connor. Dack-on Blade. Hans could randomly be cool. Squall is really cool. Ezio was suggested, but seems like a different take on the ninjutsu that makes everyone hate you. But I'm also open to what a Magic veteran says. You said, so I'm a new Magic player. Started in February and have gone to a couple pre-release events. That being said, I don't think I know enough about how decks work to make a good comment here. I don't think I like the idea of having a huge amount of cards on the board to keep track of. The only deck I have made at the moment are Satoru decks and all the Sakashima cards with Kaito and some Gear Hulks and other cards that I really like the art of. My goal when playing is to have fun and interact. I am by no means a CDH player, but I like to play unique things, and sadly, I have a strong disposition for anime characters like Megumi from JJK and Sasuke from Naruto, if you're familiar. When considering commanders, I always found myself looking at Esper or Dimir colors. Haven't had much draw outside of these colors, other than things like Hansk and Gruul. I just love the art of Dakkon. Apparently, the Esper colors are traditional Lands Matter colors that makes Dakkon pretty non-traditional, so I'd love to see your take on it. His lore is super cool. So, Lands Matter, Dack-on Blade. Let's talk about it. So I included as much art by Richard Kane Ferguson for this. Oh, you're randomly here. That's awesome, Max. I'm assuming you're Connor? Oi, what's up, Blainable? So, Dack-on Blade, a Lands Matter Esper deck. So, what cards within Esper make Lands Matter possible? Let's talk about that. We have Burnished Heart. Sacrifice this, get to search for 2 basic lands and put them onto the battlefield tapped. Amazing. Dreamscape Artist. Sacrifice land, get more lands. You might see a theme here. Core Cartographer. Hoopu UFO. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. We have Scar Tiller. You may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. A Solemn Simulacrum. Technically Reality Chip, which lets you play lands at the top of your library. Pretty nice. Walking Atlas. And then kind of Weathered Wayfarer, which puts lands in your hand. And we do need help putting lands on the battlefield extra, so that one isn't as big. And then last but not least, we also have the Sword of Hearth and Home. Search your library for basic land. Put it on the battlefield under your control. Boom, baby. Yep. So the idea here is that we are doing everything we can to make sure we put lands onto the battlefield and then benefit from that. One of the few things within Esper that has landfall that's awesome is Ob Nixilis the Fallen. It says, whenever a land you control enters the battlefield, you may have target player lose 3 life. If you do, put 3 +1/+1 encounters on Ob Nixilis. Pretty great. Very, very fun. So Ob Nixilis grows and gets big with landfall. So I thought it'd be like a nice extra thing. We also are going to be using things like Mother of Runes to keep our commander safe, Baleful Strix to draw cards and have a good blocker because it's a flying Death Toucher, and then Silent Arbiter because we are going to be Voltroning Dakon Blade. Now, Dakon Blade also has this awesome little extra card as a secret commander. Dakon Blade, Shadow Slayer, enters the battlefield with a number of loyalty counters on him equal to the number of lands you control. So I thought it would be very obvious that we should include Dakon Blade. Super awesome. And then it also allows us to -6, you may put an artifact card from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield, and that is how we are going to get out some of our Voltron pieces for our commander. You know, Hammer Design, all the fun stuff. Dark Steel Plate, Black Blade Reforged, which, by the way, the Black Blade Reforged basically has the same exact text as our commander, which is dope. Oh my gosh, absolutely insane card in this deck. Steel of the Godhead. Like, the anime level on that card, Steel of the Godhead. Like, bro, that is so sick. As long as Enchanted Creature is white, it gets +1/+1 in his lifelink, and then as long as Enchanted Creature is blue, it also gets +1/+1 in blockable. So now Dakon Blade is +2/+2 lifelink unblockable. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But because this is also a lands matter deck, Field of the Dead. I think Field of the Dead would be awesome in this. Here's the thing, Connor, you were in fact on a budget. Field of the Dead is a card you need a budget for. So I didn't know what Esper lands you owned. So whatever ones you do own that you like that are within the Esper colors, please replace them with your islands, your swamps, and your plains to make Field of the Dead better. But it's a lands matter deck. Field of the Dead, duh. Oh, good. We also are going to be using Open the Armory and Steel Shaper's Gift in order to go get your artifacts. I made sure to include all of the Richard Kane Ferguson arts that are within this deck. So we've got Vampiric Tutor, Enlightened Tutor, and of course the Toxic Deluge, and then one you may not have known, his original Profane Tutor from MH2. And then the Grand Abolisher that you spoke of in your message. Was so excited for that. There was a little bit of an interesting take I had to make with this deck, because one of the things that you really needed was card draw. So I decided to add a few cards like Pull from Tomorrow that would give you better card draw options. But I'm hoping once you have your commander out, you're going to be doing some of your card drawing via things like your swords. If you did get lucky enough to get a Buster Sword as well, I would highly suggest adding that in here past your budget level. But if we go to buy the deck, you set around $500, I think, and the deck landed at $565 at near mint for everything. So, you know, not bad. Also, Dakon Blade did in fact get a really cool secret layer drop by Richard Kane Ferguson. That's his new one. Oh, there you go. Perfect, Connor. If you want, he does have updated art. I don't know if you knew that. And it's Dakon Blade, but backwards. Don't ask why, because I don't know either. But just to let you know, that is a thing. And then obviously, if you want to flex on people, just like go get the original one with the black border. It's freaking cool. It's so hot. Yeah, let me show you what this deck plays like, because normally right now, I would like to tell you guys about opening hands and what to keep. But the thing is, this deck is not that simple. It should be simple. Defcat, what are you talking about? All you talked about in this deck so far with Dakon Blade is putting lands onto the battlefield to make Dakon bigger. A little more complicated than that. But what you should realistically be doing in your opening hand is making sure you have something to attach to Dakon Blade. You want Trophy Mage. You want Tribute Mage. You want Reality Chip. That's what you're looking for. Because Dakon Blade by himself, swinging in with the amount of lands he has, will not cut it. You need to get something in your hand, or if you don't find one of those things, a tutor for it, Open the Armory, Profane Tutor, Steel Shaper's Gift, and then for some reason, you've mulliganed down to 5 and you found none of that, just keep something with like Dreamscape Artist that really pushes you ahead on the land count. You need one of those things. So as you playtest, something I highly suggest is making sure you have at least 4 lands in your opening hand. It may sound like a lot. You're going to have to mulligan a good bit. I would have at least 4, genuinely. Oh my gosh. Wait, what's our land count? How screwed did I just get? We're at 40 lands. There we go. Jesus, I was like 40 lands and we didn't... What? Okay. Yeah, at least 4, genuinely. I think that's just the way to go with this deck. And then everything else, genuinely, doesn't matter as much as the 4 lands. Unless it draws you more lands. Then you can keep less lands. I know. Shocking thought. So like Wayfarer, all that. This hand does in fact do that because of the Tribute Mage, because we can go get an artifact that does that. So we would play a land for turn, play Mother of Runes. Then we'd play Command Tower, and then we can play Open the Armory. Search your artifact for an aura or equipment card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle. We are going to go get a 2-mana artifact, and that is going to go be... Right, it says, oh, it's equipment card. Aura or equipment card, sorry. Probably the Reality Chip. Next turn, play a land. 1, 2, 3. Tribute Mage. And we're going to go get an artifact. And put it in our hand. And we're going to go get Walking Atlas. Godless Shrine. Walking Atlas. Reality Chip. And then that's Dakon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dakon Blade. And then we're going to tap Walking Atlas to put a land card onto the battlefield from our hand. And we do play with the top revealed right now, which is pretty awesome due to Reality Chip. Play a land for turn. And then we're going to attach Mithril Coat to Dakon Blade. And Dakon Blade now swings in with what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 indestructible power, which is pretty dope. And then soon we'll attach Reality Chip as well, which will be pretty great. And then we have Sword of Hearth and Home next turn, and we have backup counterspell magic. We can play a land off the top of our library, which is pretty dope with Reality Chip. And then when we reconfigure it, we're going to be able to play lands and cast spells on the top of our library. So we're going to pay 3, attach, pay 3, and then pay 2 to attach. Now we can play things off the top of our library, which is pretty dope. And Dakon Blade is now going to be attacking in, but it says when it deals combat damage is when Sword of Hearth and Home gets the land for us, so it doesn't add it yet. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 2, so he's a 10/10 with protection from green or white. And then we get to exile up to 1 creature, target creature you own, then search our library for a basic land and then put it back. So Tribute Mage re-ETBs because of Sword and Hearth and Home. We go get a Plains, bringing him up to an 11/11, and we go get another 2 CMC artifact from our deck. which I'm going to pick Black Blade Reforged. Then we're going to play a land, pay 2, attach it, equipped with 3, and now Dakon Blade is swinging for lethal on turn 8, and that's the way we like it. And this whole time we've had Arcane Denial, Swords to Plowshares, Mother of Runes as protection and disruption, and because we have Reality Chip currently attached, we can use Offer We Can't Refuse off the top of our library to stop people from doing shenanigans. And on top of that, our commander is indestructible and protection from green and white, so he can't get exiled either because he's protection from white. I rest my case. Now, is this deck slow by my personal standards as a deck creator? Yes. What would I do to change that? I would put in Lotus Petal, and I would put in Mana Vault and other fast mana. I also would put in things like Cabal Ritual and Blood Pet. But those cards all cost a fair amount of money and aren't required, and you can do plenty of things without needing it, genuinely. The only fast mana I kept in the deck was Dark Ritual and Soul Ring. Everything else doesn't make more mana than it costs. But I do believe in it. But at the same time, it is a lands matter deck, so I didn't want to include a ton of it because the lands matter more, and that's how you win the game. So keep that in mind. But I really think the deck's really good. I think it's really fun. I think it's straightforward with a little bit of complexity in it due to the tutoring process. And then also, you know, re-ETBing creatures, which is really big. So I think you guys really like it. I know. I think you guys will like it. I think if you play it, you're going to have a good time. Oh my God. I just got jump scared by my cat. All right. Here, kitty. All right. We have kitty, everybody. Here. Here, bud. Hello, everybody. This is Vito. Having a good time, Vito? Mwah. Mwah. All right, Vito. Oh, he doesn't like the camera. Nice. That's awesome, Connor. Oh, Connor, if you're in the Discord, once you have the deck together, guys, this is a little announcement. I'm going to be putting together a little thing where we all take pictures with the decks that I've built for you guys, and then we'll tag them on the website. I thought that would be a really fun community thing to do. What do you guys think? And hopefully you're going to be able to upload those things yourself with your profiles. Okay. Let's show off our next deck. Ethan! Ethan, you still here, bud? You excited? Ethan! My cat is eating my mic. You can see his like tiny little snoot every now and then. Let me know if my mic's getting slapped by my cat too loud, everybody. Ethan! Ethan! Your deck is ready! Emperor Mihail. Sorry, Mihail. Let me get your request form up here, Ethan. Yay, Ethan, you're here. Whoop-woo! Ooh, yay. Some other people are coming to dinner tonight with me and my pastor. We're gonna get Vietnamese food together. Ethan, do you have a commander in mind? Ethan says, dealer's choice. I'm looking for a sleeper deck. Preferably, the commander would be, at first glance, seemingly unthreatening, while still being able to win by turn 6 to 8 utilizing an unconventional mechanic for whatever the commander is. That being said, I will check the box for every color preference because I'm open to whatever commander color and whatever color combination. You want this to be bracket 3 and no stacks. So, I had accidentally added stacks to this originally, and I took them out this morning when I was checking over everyone's submissions to make sure I didn't create an oopsie. So, I would like to introduce to you a very fun combo deck. Combo. Defcat. It's Merfolk. Combo. My sweet summer child. It says, look at the top card of your library at any time. I cannot stress how broken that is to do that. You may cast spells, Merfolk spells, from the top of your library, and whenever you cast a Merfolk, you can pay an extra 1 mana. If you do, create a 1/1 blue Merfolk token. Oh, a 3 CMC commander that just helps make 1/1s, and you have to pay for it? Death Cat. This man asked you for an interesting deck that can win by turn 6 to 8. I guess it's an unconventional commander and an unconventional mechanic, as you mentioned. But what's so threatening? It goes infinite with an enchantment. Multiple enchantments. Are you having fun yet? Are we having fun yet? So, many of you may already know this card. It's a little card called Intruder Alarm. Creatures don't untap during their own steps. Whenever a creature enters, untap all creatures. Now, we are going to be using that to consistently re-ETB all of our creatures by untapping them, and then the second we cast any Merfolk, it untaps our creatures in order to continue to pay for more Merfolk. It's very fun. So, one of the best things we can do in this list is eventually win. Here's how to win, by the way. Sure, you've gone infinite, you've played all your things, you have 1 billion tokens. They don't have haste. Exactly. We're going to be using, and plus also, I don't want you to goldfish for a combo in mono blue. That's just ridiculous. Mono blue has no way to tutor it. It's just something fun you may fall into, and it's a value piece otherwise. The real way to win in this deck is Banner of Kinship and Coat of Arms, because you're going to have an insane amount of tokens, and put all of your opponents are going to go, it's just 1/1s. It's just a bunch of 1/1s. How's that going to win the game? Now they're all 2020s. Enjoy. It's funnier if I show you. I'm going to be real. So, let me show you. Draw for turn. Oh yeah, sorry. Let me make sure you understand this. Do not care what's in your opening hand in this deck at all. I'm not kidding. There's no such thing as a bad opening hand in this deck unless it's only lands. And even that's not terrible, because Emperor Mahali says we get to play spells from the top of our library. So very helpful, if you can imagine. So we'll draw for turn, play a land, play Brainstorm. So we get to draw 3, 1, 2, 3, put 2 back on the top of our library that we don't want yet. And we're going to put back Counterspell, and we're going to put back Reality Shift, and we're going to go to our next turn. Island, Sapphire Medallion. Next turn, Island, 2 blue mana, Emperor Mahali. Now, normally, you would try to cast the Merfolk right now, but we don't have mana to make the token, so I want to hold that back. That is very important. Again, we can also look at the top card of our library. We have Vanquisher Banner coming up next. Not bad. Next turn, we're going to be... It is a me-proofed deck then. Mistcloak Herald, tap 1, make an extra token, Merfolk. Boop. And then, during any of your opponent's turns, offer you can't refuse. Haha, now they're slowed down. We got both of our win cons in our hand. Little awkward. That's okay, because guess what? Tap 2, Master the Pearl Trident. All other Merfolk creatures you control get +1/+1 and have Island Walk. And we're gonna make another token. Okay. Now let's look at this for a second. We now have a 3/3. A 4/4, a 2/2, a 2/2, a 2/2, and a 2/2. And all these other ones have Island Walk. And this one can't even be blocked. It's turn 5, and I don't think they're going to see any danger here like you asked me to make sure. I don't think they're going to see the danger in this. Next turn, play a land, and we're going to play Master of Waves. Sadly, we don't have the extra mana. Oh, wait, we do because of Sapphire Medallion. It only costs 3. Sorry, I'm just trying to be funny. Pay 1 extra. Make another Merfolk. Enchanted elemental creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever a master waves enter the battlefield, create a number of 1/0 blue elemental creature tokens equal to your devotion to blue. Our devotion to blue right now is 5. Oh, big news is going to be coming up here in just a bit. I'm waiting until we have a lot of people in here. We're at a bit of a lower viewer count at the moment, so we're chilling until I unveil the news. Very excited, though. So this is turn 6. Oh, you're not getting good quality? Have I set my stream quality low? Is that me? Are other people having stream quality issues? Is it my low latency, possibly? Is that it? One, two, three, four, five. Oh, 6 devotion. Thank you. Oh, congratulations on the Risk of Rain 2. Oh my goodness. 100%. Heck yeah. Major. Good to see you. So, we're going to win on turn 8, as asked. Real quick. Too far away. Would we like this screen to be larger, everybody? Would that be better? Is that a little better, everybody? Do we like that more? That's better. Good. Awesome. So, here we go. Let's win the game. Next turn, we're going to pay 3 mana for Decanter. Fun. And then we are going to reality shifts or actually we'll hold up mana for counterspell. So if someone tries to kill our commander, counterspell. Next turn. Oops. Coat of Arms, baby. That's game. The elementals are all 6/6s now. Or sorry, 6/5s. The Merfolk we have are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then +1 because of the banner effect, 8. So all of our Merfolks are 8/8s at minimum. Or sorry, have +8/+8 at minimum. Yeah, that's game. So, it's a mono blue control deck with an impending doom element. Hey Def, had a question on deck submissions. I put 2 in on Friday on the website, and they aren't showing up in the submission section. Is that normal? Ooh, let's add to the bug reporting. Uh-oh. Do not worry, Corona. I will check that after this. Websites, needs, and changes. Let's get this document up. Let's look at this. Deck submissions and issues. Does not see deck submissions. All right, everybody. I think it's time that I tell you the news. Would anyone like some big news? I see that we are plenty now. We have 19 people here. What's up, Valeroni? What is up? Maybe I need to be starting stream later. I started stream at 1:30 today, and it seems to have gotten a lot bigger. Quicker. All right. Ladies and gentlemen. Boys and... Thank you. I like my shirt, too. It is an Evangelion shirt. It's some of the script from Evangelion. I'm looking a little Spocky today. I agree with that. I agree with that, Serpenting. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to enter a new era. So, I've alluded to this a little bit in some previous streams, but I now have confirmation. I have told you guys that I will get to be a little bit more only on the content creation side and not on the editing side anymore. That I'm going to have some time in order to, oh, Chuzix, it should show up on the website today. I will link that for you. So, for the most part, I've told you guys that I have alluded to the fact that I'm going to be in a little bit more of a just show up and then someone else edits role soon, and that all I'm responsible for is writing the scripts, like that I make the videos, but I don't actually have to do the work to finish them up. That way more content can come out. I have officially been able to acquire a studio, and you guys are going to get live action videos from me in a real studio starting in January. So the Commander Guides video will now be professionally shot in a studio, and you guys are not going to have to deal with me just being on the green screen 24/7. So it's going to be a lot nicer. And on top of that, you're going to get them weekly. You are getting weekly guide videos on top of weekly deck techs starting in January. And we've already started filming, and the scripting process just finished up. So I just wanted to give you guys that awesome news. We are going to launch hard in January. Right now, I'm dedicating all of December to making sure we're caught up and that the website's fixed and everyone's happy. I didn't want to move on before we fixed all this. I have been told my personality is the reason we're doing this. The deck text will still be green screen and memes and fun, but the guides will be a little bit more professional. Yeah, you're not going to lose out on any of my content. It's just more content. Yep. Chuzix, let me get you that list right now. Here you go, bud. Oh, dude, KV, thank you so much. Yes, I'll be able to walk around. I'm very excited. Yes, Serpenting, the Prism update is happening. KV, thank you so much. You are such an incredible supporter of this stream. Seriously. I gotta hit you up with some extra stuff in your package I'm sending out today from the previous stream that we did. We did a big stream where we got a ton of money raised so kids could have instruments, which has been amazing. They're very thankful. I need to send you guys pictures from them. And KV, you did such an amazing job helping us do that. Put a Geneva suggestion lettering in the studio. That would be pretty sick. I totally agree. And Serpenting, the Prism update is we have officially started our closed group of testing, and we have a Discord launching very soon. And some people here in the chat right now are currently working on the entire, like, how do I put this? Like the graphic design for it as well. They're doing an incredible job. Earlmade being one of the leads on that. Dude, the clap, what if we did the opposite? I love doing that stuff, man. That bit'll never get old. That bit will literally never get old. Oh my gosh. So excited. Yeah, KV. Branding, Earlmade. Thank you for actually knowing English. Give it up for Earlmade, everybody. I'm going to be speaking tonight with the website developer as well, with everything you guys sent back and making sure we're on track to have everything solved. Thank you again to Spiral Eater for lighting a fire under my butt to get all this done. Thank you, Spiral Eater. But we have another deck, everybody. Newt Nick. they put that as their name, asked for a creative combo deck. Let's get into this. Where's the submission? Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button. I was going up, not down. Newt Nick, you said, for the commander you had in mind, anything you think would fit. I would like to see how we could possibly break the game with Moonfolk. Full creative control to you. Make it as gross as you want with whoever for the commander. I'm open to whatever you like. Proxy friendly, no budget. Oh yeah, Blandimal. I'm so excited for that. So this is supposed to be the most amazing. Absolutely, Spiral Leader. Thank you. Talk to you later. We wanted to make the coolest Moonfolk deck possible. Break the game with Moonfolk. So originally I was going to do Uyo Silent Prophet, but I had to bring out Patron of the Moon. I just think it's so much more fun. So Patron of the Moon says, Moonfolk Offering. You may play this card at any time. You could play it as an instant by sacrificing a Moonfolk and paying the difference in mana cost between this and the sacrificed Moonfolk mana cost included color. Yeah. Flying. And then the most broken part about this card, 1 mana, put 2 land cards from your hand into play. Tapped. We ain't letting those lands come in tapped, y'all. We ain't letting it happen. Amulet of Vigor. Whenever a permanent enters this battlefield tapped under your control, untap it. We're going to be using Patron of the Moon with Amulet of Vigor to go infinato. And make a bunch of really cool stuff because we've added some things where by being able to put a bunch of lands back in our hand, but then by being able to put them back on, we can do things infinitely. So like Soratami's Cloud Skater allows us to draw through our deck with that combo. Uyo allows us to infinitely copy any spell. Awesome stuff. So there's tons of combos. Literally any of the Moonfolk can effectively be activated infinitely as long as we find Amulet of Vigor. Yeah. We also have a Retreat to Coralheim. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under control, you may tap or untap target creature and scry 1. That is a little bit more of a value piece in this deck than other decks where it is the combo. Yep, it's early emerge except that has flash. Yeah, which it having flash is so freaking cool. And so I based the rest of the deck around putting lands back in our hands in order to activate things because we're going to have so many extra land drops using this commander. So opening hands are always minimum 1 Merfolk. Minimum 1 Merfolk in your opening hand. Always. And then minimum 1 piece of either extra mana or card draw. So 1 Merfolk and then 1 piece of either mana or card draw. That should always be in your opening hand. That's what we're going for. The other thing we really want in our hand, if possible, is a counterspell, because people are going to remove your Merfolk when they see this commander. Very important. So 1 Merfolk and at least 1 piece of ramp. That's what we want to see. So let's see what that looks like. Okay. Who did this? Who put 6 islands and a Walk the Ands on top of my deck, and which one of you knew I'd play it? Dude, I already made the Moonfolk prices go up from my reverse landfall list. I feel bad. All right. This is much better. Awesome. Yeah, no Moonfolk, though. Let's get a Moonfolk up in here. Ooh, okay. This hand's kind of cracked, though. This hand is kind of cracked. I think we keep this. This is so much mana. It's 3 lands, a Walking Atlas, a Snap, and a Rewind. And a Poo-Poo UFO. That's pretty disgusting. Yeah, let's draw. Oh, and we got it. We got the Orboro Breeze Collar. Walking Atlas. Poo-poo UFO. Island. Oh my gosh. So, turn 4, we can pay 2 to put out a Orboro Breeze Collar. Then we can pay 2, untap target land we control, puts a land back in our hand. We can then tap to put a land back out, which is pretty funny. Yeah, I guess from there, we're just snapping someone else's creature and untapping 2 lands, and then counterspelling something. And then we're 1 mana short of being able to cast our commander, which is really a bummer. So I think we just cast Tiller Engine here. And then we pay 2, untap a land, put a land back in our hand, play a land for turn, which untaps a land. Oh, it's untap that land with Tiller Engine. My bad. Yeah, we still can't play anything extra. Urgh. Please land. No. Mystic Remora. We draw an extra card. Oh, we got land. There we go. And then from here, we can cast our commander finally. We'll let the Remora die. That's the gist of the deck. But I wanted to keep that hand because it was funny. Don't do that. Use the ideas I said. Make sure there's always a Merfolk in your hand when you start. Don't be silly. This is a really good hand. Oh my gosh. We have a Moonfolk, we have 2 lands, and we have a Frantic Search. We have an extra land, we have a counterspell, or extra turn, and we have another counterspell as well. This is a pretty sick hand. So that would be land, and then Swan Song, someone's like early Ristic Study. Haha. Land, Training Grounds, land, Frantic Search, discard or draw 2 cards and then discard 2 cards. Next turn, land into our Moonfolk. Ooh, nice. Ristic or the One Ring. That's a 1 ring right there, baby. Draw an extra card. Next turn, draw 2. Land for turn. And now we have the extra. Now we have the other Merfolk we need in order to keep going. From here, honestly, you just time warp. Go to your next turn, tap 1, 2, 3. Put down a land for turn. Take an extra land or turn again. Tap 1, 2, 3, 4. Another land. Sack Soratami, Moonfolk, Patron of the Moon for 3. And then from there, we've got Maluka in our hand, or Maluko. And we'll pay 1 mana to put 2 lands from our hand onto the battlefield. But they will come in tapped, sadly, until we find something that, like Tiller Engine or anything like that, in order to keep it going. And then we'll pay 1, return a land to our hand, make the 1/1 illusion. And then next turn we can make an insane amount of illusions. Pretty fun. Pretty fun stuff. And then we'll play a land for turn. And then we can Gush, which will return 2 islands to our hand. And then we'll get to draw 2 cards. And then we'll pay 1, put them back out. We'll put the Ancient Tomb back out as well. And then pay 1, put 1 back in our hand, make another illusion. That was pretty cool. Like, we have a lot of things we can do there. And it says we're on turn 8, but we're technically on turn 5. We took a bunch of extra turns. But that's how I like to play this deck. It's like a cool sacrificing and then obsessively using all of the Merfolk to do absolute BS in front of our friends. Ooh, can't see me, baby. and just like return lands and all this craziness. It's a blast. Hey, I got distracted with a phone call and had to catch up on my Merfolk deck tech. Thank you. Hit the nail on the head with that. Funny enough, I tried to build the same thing a year ago. Peak. It's peak. I'm glad you enjoyed. One of the bombs in this list is Consecrated Sphinx. It is a game changer. It does take up one of your game changer slots. So just be aware of that. You did not give me a bracket. You just said break the game with Merfolk, make it evil. So if you do want to play this with your friends, check all the different game changers I added to it. Make sure you're okay with it. And then let's add all of these to the website by adding it to my little custom list here. And then these should update within the next 24 hours and be on the website. Awesome. All right, our next deck is for Scott. We have the Master Multiplied. Oh, Ethan, I'm so happy. What's up, Valeroni? What is your question? This one's pretty fun. Scott, you had an amazing deck request idea. I'm very excited to share it with the class. Okay, so Scott, what commander do you have in mind? None. What mechanic, theme, or strategy would you like to be the main thing of your deck? I want to think of the Matrix. So, in one of the theoretical sequels of The Matrix, because we all know The Matrix was the only movie, Agent Smith would be able to take over the other programs and effectively only make copies of himself. We would also see that the world got completely taken over as well, till the point where there was just Neo. In order to save the Matrix, once again, in this hypothetical movie, Neo would have to sacrifice himself in order to create an antivirus for Agent Smith. Long story short, could have been longer, I was thinking of a theme alongside Agent Smith, making everything become either the same creature card type I am, or then allowing me to take control of all of them to hit my opponents on their own card. In the worst case scenario, I would like to do what the mechanics did and blow up everything and all of my opponents take damage because their creatures are copies of mine. The only thing is this, I would prefer not a Deadpool style deck, any color and at least bracket 3. So, I thought of the fact that the first thing we had to do in this storyline was make copies of ourselves. So I chose the Master Multiplied. Let's get into our showcase today. The Master Multiplied says, Myriad, the legend rule does not apply to creature tokens you control. Triggered abilities you control cannot cause you to sacrifice or exile tokens you control. So, Neo is going to have to do exactly what happened and multiply themselves incredibly. And they're going to be the only copies of themselves. That is the Master Multiplied. Then, the many members of the crew from the movies are there to help. We have the Combat Celebrant to make more copies, Feldon the Third Path, Karlach, and, of course, as everyone can read, I can't read this card, Kiki Jiki Mirror Breaker. If you were playing flip cards in tournament, let's say I didn't have money for sleeves, how does that work? Because in a deck, you'd be able to mark those cards. There is a special token, Valeroni, in all packs that contain double-sided cards that allow you to write down the card name and use that instead, and it's considered legal at the tournament. But sleeves are required, from what I understand, at comp REL tournaments, unless it is a pre-release event. Then you're fine. But if you cannot afford sleeves, hit me up on Discord. I'll send you sleeves. You have been obscenely generous to this channel. Let me send you some sleeves. Thank you for supporting me. So, for this Master Multiplied rule, the big thing that are a big portion of how this deck works, considering the elements of the Matrix we're talking about here, I still wanted to talk about what the end of the Matrix was, which was blowing everything up and making everything a copy. And so I decided to put in Insurrection. Untap all creatures and gain control of all of them until end of turn. They gain haste until end of turn. I thought this, with getting a very cheap reprint, was the perfect part. And then Relentless Assault. Untap all creatures that attack this turn after the main phase, there's an additional combat phase. So this deck is all going to be about making copies and then immediately going in and making extra combats with those extra copies and giving everything haste. The rest of the deck is doing everything it can to keep the original Master Multiplied alive, deflecting SWAT, and then Imp's Mischief. And then we've got things like Malakir's Rebirth and other things to make sure that our commander stays alive, even if someone goes for the hit attempt on them. We're going to be using things like Curse Mirror, Lithoform Engine, and Strionic Resonator to either make copies and or duplicate the Master's triggered ability. And then awesome, I think the Fire Crystal is one of the best cards ever printed. Genuinely. It is the most red card ever. Creatures you control have haste. And all red spells cost 1 less. And you can make a target copy. This deck gets so out of hand so fast. It is stupid how fast this... Let me show you. All you want in your opening hand is mana. Mana. Literally nothing else matters. Get the Master out fast. That is all that matters. Oh yeah, baby. That's some mana in our opening hand. And we have Blade of Selves. Dear God. Okay. Yep. This is kind of insane. This hand's insane. Draw a card. Spell the Profane. Flip it over. And we are going to let that come in tapped. Next turn. Land. Put out Blade of Selves. And then we're going to do land into... probably Tybalt's Trickery on someone else's turn. Mess them up. Oh, Scene. Sorry. Thank you. And then Dark Ritual. 6 mana total. Master Multiplied. Oh, sorry. We were supposed to do out the... That was what we were supposed to do last turn. The Flame Shadow. This turn, this comes in. Pay a red. And then make a copy. So now we have 2. And it gains haste until end of turn. So, the copy comes out. We've got all this tapped. And that would be out as well. Oops. So all that's tapped. This copy comes in, attacks, and immediately Myriad applies. And we make 3 copies of the Master Multiplied. Awesome. Next turn. Land. And we can either sack one of these Master Multiplied to immediately go make something else that doubles tokens. We can use Electro Duplicate and make another copy before going into attack. We can go ahead and thankfully all of these already have Myriad, so the Blade of Selves doesn't apply to the Master Multiplied themselves. But this attacks in 1, 2, so this makes 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. How do we feel about this, boys and girls? Is this enough damage for you? Is that enough Masters Is that enough Neos? Are we happy with this many Neos? We can make more next turn. We can make more this turn. Screw it. So, that's what this deck's all about. Scott, hope you enjoy. Go break the Matrix, my friend. Thank you for requesting. Silver Blitz. We need a bit more, I think. Silver Blitz. I think you were number 32. Yes. Silver Blitz. Hello. I would love if this be a Y'shtola deck. Hey, I was wondering when my deck would be made. I submitted the form at the beginning of October for Venom. I understand everything's been hectic, but an update would be appreciated. Absolutely, Sly Murloc. Let's check if your deck's already been made and you just missed it. Let's take a gander. Here you go, my friend. Must have just missed it. That whatever day the October 21st decks were shown, would be the day that I showed this on stream. So just check out October 21st, and that should be the day I streamed it. That's my username. Every else is Silver Blitz. Oh, no problem, Sly. Yeah, dude. I love this. What's up, Chinoy? Good afternoon. Okay. Let's get into this request. Silver Blitz says, hello. I would love if this deck would be a Y'shtola Knight's Blessed deck. Hello, Deaf Cat. A friend, gave me an unbelievable gift in the form of a special art Y'shtola card. With my birthday being on the 1st of November, aka All Saints Day, I really wanted to build this deck. However, I have never built an Esper control deck, and I feel like I fell short of what I was trying to accomplish. I found your CEDH Y'shtola deck to be really cool, but it's a bit too strong for my playgroup. I would love if you could help it out and build a really cool deck that rewards patience, controls the board, and is also really fun. Anything that stops all activated abilities, such as Clarion Conquer, are banned in my playgroup, and everything else is fair game. I really love turning people's commanders into other big boys, into 0-1 fish and 0 indestructible bugs with no abilities. These are effects that are really cool, and I leave the door open to you to cook in the kitchen and deliver a well-rounded deck of pain. I would like the deck to be strong, bracket 4, as it has to contend with powerhouses such as Miriam Sentinel's Wyram, a brutal Edgar Markov deck, and a big boy Eldrazi. Thank you so much for what you do in helping become a better deck builder. My freaking pleasure. What's up, Samson? Nice. Oh, dude, that Tasker deck. Oh, I love that Tasker deck I got to build for you. Genuinely, it is so sick. I'm so glad you're picking up the cards for it. I love that deck. Oh my gosh. So, Y'shtola Knight's Blessed. At the beginning of each end step, I know all of you know this card, but I gotta do the through line. So just stick with me. Stick with me. At the beginning of each end step, if a player lost 4 or more life this turn, you draw a card. And then whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, Y'shtola deals 2 damage to each opponent and you gain 2 life. We need to deal 4 damage to people. That is what we are doing, boys and girls. So, how do we constantly trigger Y'shtola? Because if we cast a non-creature spell value 3 or greater every turn and then smack them with Y'shtola, which Y'shtola's Vigilance makes it easy, we're going to be very much on our way to victory. So, if someone else is going to be playing the game and putting out big creatures, Eldrazi, Wyrams, other big stuff, obviously Edgar doesn't go on the field often, we need to make sure they don't have it. So we're going to be using Gilded Drake, Volatile Storm Drake, which steal their creature and swap them with that, and then Sower of Temptation, which we're going to get the good art out. Oh, God. This is one of my favorite playmats I own, by the way. This art, gorgeous. Whenever Sower of Temptation enters the battlefield, gain control of target creature for as long as Sower of Temptation remains on the battlefield. So, Sower of Temptation was a card that I played on camera during a game with the Nitpicking Nerds, and I stole Piru Piru, the 7/7 dragon with lifelink that destroys itself and deals 7 damage to everybody, from Rachel Weeks, and many of you probably know Rachel Weeks. So that was pretty dope. Sower of Temptation quickly became one of my favorite cards. It was a really fun moment. It was also in a deck where when I played fairies, I dealt damage to people, so I got a double wombo with it. So that was a pet card I had to throw in here for you. This deck is all about controlling the game until you get a few cards. So here are the key cards we're looking for while sitting here and doing this. We have Bloodchief's Ascension, which just got a reprint. We're going to switch it back to one I can read because that's a little hard to read on that one. At the beginning of each end step, if an opponent has lost 2 or more life, ding, 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 2 or more life, baby. Talion, Y'shtola, both trigger that. Very sick. At the beginning of each end step, if an opponent has lost 2 or more life this turn, put a quest counter. And whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, if Bloodchief's Ascension has 3 or more quest counters on it, you may have that player lose 2 life. If you do, gain 2 life. Big booms, baby. We're also going to be using the Extort feature from Blind Obedience, meaning you pay 1 mana whenever you cast a spell to deal 1 damage to each opponent. And artifacts and creature cards your opponents enter tapped, so it slows everyone down. And once they are able to attack, Ghostly Prison, they're going to have to pay 2 to hit you. Of course, you like turning people's commanders into 0-1 things with no abilities, so we had to put in some Darksteel Mutation, but I favored a little bit higher on some more Angie removal. So I really enjoyed being able to put in cards that do more just straight Swords to Plowshares, Pad to Exile effects. But then we still have Rapid Hybridization, which is really fun. Because you do have big boys you need to kill. Spell Seeker will help you find those spells, and Grand Abolisher will keep you safe on your turn in order to do all of those things. But in the end of the day, we have 2 ways to win the game. Get Bloodchief's Ascension 2, 3 quest counters, and then cast hold that thought. I hate when this happens. Mind Crank. Oh, it's in considering. That's why I accidentally put it in the considering section. I am ooped stay. Sorry. Haha. I'd accidentally moved it down. Sorry about that. Same with Fieldred, which should be in the deck. Get that Spellseeker out of there. My bad, sorry, haha. Hee hoo hoo hoo. And I had added in Flusterstorm instead, which you don't need at that bracket level. So Mind Crunk, Bloodchief's Ascension at 3 counters, and then good old Mind Crunk, which says whenever an opponent loses life, that player mills that many cards, which then, when they mill a card to their graveyard, ding ding ding, reignites Bloodchief's Ascension, making them lose 2 life, which ding ding ding, reignites Mind Crank, baby. Retriggers. Oh, and Tainted Pact wasn't supposed to be here anymore. I was like, there's one more card not supposed to be in here. There we go. An extra land. So, how do we win with this deck outside of that combo? We also have Mnemonic Betrayal. So, once we have 3 cast counters on Bloodchief's Ascension, which is really easy to find because we have a lot of tutors for it, including Enlightened Tutor, Demonic Tutor, Imperial Tutor, Vampiric Tutor. Mnemonic Betrayal says, exile all cards from all opponents' graveyards. And then there's a bunch of jargon we don't need to read, because guess what? It says at the beginning of the next end step, those cards go back to the graveyards, which means they entered the graveyards, which means it triggers Bloodchief's Ascension 1 billion times and drains them of life. Boom! Very fun. Very, 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 very fun. So, super excited about that. The other infinite we added was Teferi, Time Raveler, and Displacer Kitten. So, Teferi Time Raveler says, until your next turn, you may cast sorcery spells as though they had flash. Very cool. Not what we're looking at. The -3, return up to 1 target artifact or creature or enchantment to its owner's hand and then draw a card. So, if we play something like Mana Vault, or Lotus Petal, or Mox Amber, or Mox Opal, or Mox Diamond, or Soul Ring, any of those cards that make mana, we can then tap them for mana, put them back in our hand, and when we recast them, Displacer Kitten will trigger. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent you control, and then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Teferi will flicker and come back with 4 loyalty, and can then immediately be used again, -3 down to 1, return whatever that was back to your hand, and you're good to go. You then draw your deck until you find any card that will allow you to spam a non-creature spell over 3 CMC. That card will be the One Ring, which will trigger Y'shtola, and we will kill the table by recasting the One Ring over and over again. Cinema. Absolute cinema. Let's talk about what you want to keep in your opening hand. Let's look at this hand for a second, guys. Let's go over to the playfield. Okay. Is this hand really that good, guys? You have 3 lands, interaction, creature interaction, and then 2 half of your win cons. How do we feel about this, guys? Is this really that good of a hand? How do we feel? 3 lands, 2 interaction, and 2 halves of combos. How do we feel? Chat? Bingo, Wolfie. Bingo. We need a turn to win. So, this hand is completely fine. but it's bad. Blood Chief's Ascension, we have nothing to help trigger it. Nothing. We can't cast our commander, and Volatile Stormdrake is currently the only thing that we can play in this hand that is actually progressing any game plan. And when it enters, it says exchange control with a target creature. That's not a May ability. It's not even a May. Not good. All right, KV, see ya. See you soon, KV. So we're going to put this one back. Let's find a card that advances our game plan, like this one. We have interaction, we have ramp, and we have card draw, and we can cast our commander. This is a much stronger hand right here. So let's draw for turn. Play a land. We're going to play the Bloodstained Mire, and we're going to go get ourselves an Underground Sea. Next turn, Arid Mesa, tap, go get a Tundra. We'll then pay 1 black, Dark Ritual, 1, and play the One Ring, tap, and draw a card. Next turn, tap, draw 2, play out a land, play out this Talisman of Hierarchy, and then Ledger Shredder. And then on other people's turns, we're able to draw and discard cards. Pretty dope. It's very underrated, 100%. It's amazing. We'll then, someone will cast 2 spells. We'll draw a card and discard a card. We'll discard the Swan Song, and it'll get a counter. Go to our next turn. Pop. 1, 2, 3. Ancient Tomb Bay. We're going to do 2 colorless, and then we're going to float 1 colorless and cast Y'shtola. We have a colorless floating, plus the Mox Amber, Blood Chief's Ascension, and then 2 plus the floating for Orcish Bowmaster. We also triggered our Ledger Shredder. We'll draw, and we'll discard that. It's fine. Ledger Shredder attacks in. It does have another counter on it. And someone lost 2 or more life this turn. And in fact, they lost a total of 4 because of Orcish Bowmaster pinging them. That means Y'shtola triggers, and we get to draw a card at end step. We're doing pretty good. And Blood Chief's Ascension's got a counter on it. Let's say one other person takes some more damage next turn. So Blood Chief's is at 2, right? Play a land for turn. We'll go to attackies, trigger Blood Chief's Ascension at our end step, and draw a card in our end step. And we'll probably have played, I'm going to say we'll play the Smothering Tithe as our spell per turn. During other people's turns, we'll throw out some counter spells. Fierce Guardianship, counter spell. It's turn 5. It's bracket 4. Makes sense. And then we'll mini Cyclonic Rift somebody with all of the mana we got from Smothering Tithe. Cool. Next turn, we've got everything we want. We'll play our Mox Opal. We'll tap the One Ring. We'll draw 4. We'll say our Ledger Shredder triggered last turn. We'll draw and discard. And we get a Force of Will, a Faith's Fetter, and a Born Upon a Wind. Okay. We'll have probably 3 treasure tokens from our Smothering Tithe. That's normal. Pay 2, Born Upon a Wind, draw a card, Imperial Seal, and then we'll go get Displacer Kitten, put it on top of our library. And then we'll cast, Imperial Seal technically triggers Ledger Shredder. So before Displacer Kitten goes on the top of our library, we do get to Displacer Kitten, or we get to Ledger Shredder. So we'll shuffle, draw and discard. Cool, we get an Esper Sentinel, lit. Then our Displacer Kitten will have resolved. Put that on top of the library. Pay 3. Float a colorless Teferi. -3 Teferi. Bing, bing, bing. Put Mox Amber back into our hand. And then we get to draw a card. Floating colorless. Plus the treasure tokens. Displacer Kitten. Mox Amber. Flicker Teferi. Go Infinite, baby. With Force of Will backup. If for some reason they can get around the Terry Time Raveler already locking them out of the game. That's how we like it. My name for a long time on these CDH practice servers was the Esper Enjoyer. So as you can see, I do enjoy some Esper. Hope you enjoyed that. Was a very cool deck to build. Silver Blitz. Enjoy your deck. All right, let's see who we got next. Trockenmat. Let's see what you ordered. Let's go to your submission. Trockenmat. You asked for Jin Sakai, Ghost of Tsushima. I love Esper, and this feels like a really interesting deck building challenge. How can you get exactly 3 creatures getting in each turn good? You want it bracket 4, Voltron style. So, boy, did we deliver with this deck. If you guys aren't familiar with Jin Sakai yet, I'll read them out. Whenever Jin Sakai deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Whenever a creature you control attacks a player, if no other creatures are attacking that player, choose one. Standoff. It gains double strike until end of turn. Or Ghost. It can't be blocked this turn. Dear God, that is strong. If you get Jin out with Timna, with Delny, buddy. Oh. Dude. All of your creatures are now unblockable, double strike, and draw you 2 cards. That is so disgusting. That is unbelievably rude. Now, this deck is bracket 3. How does a deck win in bracket 3? Bracket 4. Sorry. How does a deck like this win in bracket 4? Right? Because if it's bracket 4, realistically, guys, talk to me here. People don't want Thassa's. Right? We don't want it. Bad card. We do not want Thassa's. So, you ready? I think the best way to use this commander is to generate an insane amount of mana advantage and then cast Torment of Hailfire while controlling the game like crazy. I really do. I think that's the way this can be played. I think it's the best way to play it. Control the game, amass an insane amount of value, Torment of Hailfire or Exsanguinate. Boom. Win the game. I just think it's dope. I think it's neat. I think it's fun. I think you should do it. I should also think you should run Cruel Tutor with it, which is really funny. Because you're going to draw the card you put to the top of your library. It's pretty dope. So, what are your opening hands supposed to look like for Jin Sakai Ghost of Tsushima? You need card draw. Not mana. Card draw. The opening hand of any good Esper deck wants card draw. That means we want Fairy Mastermind, Ghostly Pilfer, Ledger Shredder, Esper Sentinel, which is not here for some strange reason and should be. No, not Esper Sentry. Esper Sentinel. Desperate Sentry. What even is that card? Oh, it's against the Eldrazi. That's funny. Esper Sentinel. Obviously, Archivist of Agma and Timna as well. That's what we want to see in our opening hands. Then, the second thing we want to see in our opening hand is interaction. We want a counterspell. Counterspell. Arcane Denial. Delay. Force of Will. Fierce Guardianship. Pact Negation. Swan Song. We want some kind of interaction. But we also have some cards that are just so cracked that even if you don't get any of the things I just said in your opening hand, snap keep Aether Vial. Dear God, Aether Vial is so disgusting in this deck. It is so good. Aether Vial on 2 in this deck can cast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 creatures for free for you on 2. And still a couple at 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got 4 at 1 you can also cast for free. Aether Vial is really cracked in this deck. I really like it. And it makes them uncounterable. So, if you want an uncounterable Grand Abolisher, Aether Vial. Just go, it's in. It's really fun tech, genuinely. So as I said, we're going to build up an advantage, and then we're going to Torment a Hailfire. Let's see if we can actually do that. We have 2 mana. We have a Demonic Tutor, and then we have some counter spells and Torment of Hailfire. realistically in this position, we could get a turn 3 Mystic Remora. That's like what's possible. That is extremely slow. Not worth it at all. So let's pop that back. Let's get in a better position here. Okay. Nice. We have ramp, assuming we're not going first, and we have card draw. Great hand. So gemstone goes out, and we're gonna exile this Swords to Plowshares and go to our first turn. Draw, and then we're gonna Archivist Vogma. We'll say 2 people fetch on turn 1. Very normal. We'll draw 2 cards and gain 2 life. Awesome. Go to turn 2. Command Tower into a, I'm going to say Ledger Shredder because most people double spell on turn 2. We'll say we get to draw and discard twice. Draw, discard, draw. We don't really need Snappy, so we're going to put that one back. And that'll give a counter to Ledger Shredder. And then we'll say we draw 1 card from 1 fetch. Awesome. Next turn. Bloodstained Mire. Tap. We're going to go get an Underground Sea. Awesome. From here, we have a couple things we can do. I think the best... Oh, Command Sphere is not supposed to be in this deck. That was supposed to be taken out. Sorry. We'll draw for that. Honestly, I love the idea of having Jin come down and then Sakashima next turn. But I also love this Fairy Mastermind. And thankfully, due to Dark Ritual, we can do both this turn. So we'll Dark Ritual. And then we will pay for the black. And then the colorless with the Dark Ritual. And then white, blue, Jin. And then with the colorless or the black floating. Plus the Gemstone Caverns, Fairy Mastermind. Then whenever a creature you control attacks, we can give them unblockable. We're just going to give them double strike because I'm going to assume one person's open. Deal 4 damage with Archivist Vogma, and we'll deal another 4 damage with Ledger Shredder. And we'll say on average, people are probably at 30 life through shocks and fetches at this point, and then we just dealt another 4 damage. So average life total is probably like 26 at the moment. Go to our next turn, play a land, Sakashima Jin, and now we can give everything double strike and unblockable due to Sakashima. We're going to be able to probably have drawn 2 cards to Archivist in between that as well. And then we'll say we tapped correctly and got to play our Sarah Ascendant, assuming that we actually knew what we were doing. Sarah Ascendant, sadly, doesn't have haste, but we'll attack in with double strike. Jin will have double strike, meaning he gets to draw 2, bing, bing. And then everything else will deal double damage. So on average, everyone is down to around 20 health at this point. That is awesome. Honestly, we can just win this turn. Yeah, we just win. We'll say we drew 2 again, and then had to discard due to Ledger Shredder, and Ledger Shredder gains a counter. So we've got Raffine, Void, but the big thing we have in here is the Imperial Seal, while we also have ways to draw cards. So we attack in, whoever gets hit with a Sarah Ascendant just dies. They immediately take, what, 12 damage plus anything else we have coming at them. We've got 6... So we have 18 damage in the sky. Oh, sorry. We have 22 damage in the air. So we kill somebody. We're down to 2 players left. We spread the love. We draw 2 cards. And then we draw another 2 through Sakashima. Yeah. I think from here... Oh, sorry. Before we attacked, we casted Imperial Seal. Sorry. And we went and got Torment of Hailfire. And put on top of our library. And that's one of the cards we draw. We then cast the Torment of Hailfire. And we either wipe everyone's boards or deal a ton of damage. One of those things is happening, and they're going to have to deal with it. Torment of Hailfire is happening, baby. Now they're either dead or their boards are completely wiped. If we go to next turn, we do the same exact thing. We Cruel Tutor, and we just go get Exsanguinate. Do the exact same thing, swing in, spend everything. Everyone takes X life through Exsanguinate, and we finish the job. That's the way I love to play this deck. It's super fun. I think it's just Esper good stuff, swing, deal damage, and then get that little bit of extra damage you needed to get done with Torment of Hellfire Exsanguinate. I think that is just an incredibly fun way to play this deck. What is up, Alex? Can anyone tell me if my deck's been submitted to stream? Triff, your deck was supposed to be today, and I talked about it all early stream. You talked about wanting to be like L from Death Note. Death Note is one of my favorite all-time IPs ever. So I'm putting a little bit of extra love into your deck. It is going to be the first deck shown off tomorrow. Your deck was supposed to be today, but I really wanted to work on it a little more because I'm obsessed with Death Note, and I also wanted to make some custom cards for it. Not custom as in the mechanics, the art. So, I hope you're excited. I'm very excited about your deck. Warzone is up next. Ooh, this was a fun submission. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this one. Yeah, Alex. Yes, Frank. So, Frank, your last deck was the Xancha deck, right? Yep. Let's see here. Frank, open to anyone. Oh, sorry, Frank, your last deck was the Salamander deck, right? You're welcome, Alex. I'm glad you enjoy. Frank, your last deck was the Salamander deck, right? Your next deck is either the end of this week or the beginning of next week then. Oh, your deck's tomorrow. Frank, your deck's tomorrow. Sorry, I just checked my internal calendar. It's slated for tomorrow currently, as long as I'm, like, on it and get it done. Sorry about the confusion. Okay, let's get to what Warzone asked me for. You're very welcome. There we go. Okay, Warzone. Let's talk about this. Warzone. Do you have a commander in mind? Nope. What mechanic, theme, strategy would you like this theme your deck? Give me a fun Voltron deck. Any. 2 to 3 color commanders are fine, excluding blue for moral reasons. Someone that wins via combat damage rather than spell slinging or comboing. Optional. I've been having some interest in life gain decks. Buddy, welcome to Ikra Shadiki the Usurper and Kedis Emberclaw Familiar. I don't think there was any chance you were going to guess that this is what I did. I don't think there was any chance you thought this. Like, nah. No way. No way you thought I was going to do this. So, notice how none of these say lifelink, yet we are gaining life. Ikra Shadiki the Usurper says, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. We gain in life because we thick. We gain in life because we thick, yo. That's how we do around here. This deck is built off of the idea of quickly getting out Ikra Shadiki and beating people with butts. And then using our life as a resource in order to do more things against them with our own butts. And I don't know if you guys know a little card that I'm now going to reveal for this deck called Hatred. Anyone know Hatred? It says pay X life. Target creature gets plus X plus 0 till end of turn. And this is our 1 card win con. We're going to be swinging in, gaining a ton of life, and then we're going to pay 21 life to make sure Ikra does full on commander damage. But no, not just 21. We're going to pump Ikra to 40 because we've gained so much life. And then Kedis says, whenever a commander you control deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to each other opponent. I rest my case. I rest my case. I rest my case. Gain life, be Voltron, swing in, and then kill everybody. That'd be pretty cool to me. Pretty happy with it. So, what are you looking for in your opening hand? Mana. You want mana. Mana dorks. You need at least one mana dork in your opening hand. Uno dork. Goku, you're very welcome. From one flawed person to another, I hope you have a Merry Christmas. We're all flawed. Anyone who says they're a good person, bull. None of us are good people. We're all just people learning. That's how life works. We try our best. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. I hope the reason for the season hits you in that heart and you feel the love of God this Christmas, our great birth. I'm decent at best. I love that. That's a good tattoo. I'm decent at best. So we want at least uno mana dork. And then we want at least uno either tutor or ramp spell. One or the other. So demonic tutor, cultivate, explore, diabolic intent, basically anything in the sorcery section. If you see a sorcery and a mana dork, you're off to the races. You're happy with life. That is all you need. All you need. Trust me. Let me show you. My stream deck working? There we go. Okay. So, do we have a mana dork? Yes. Do we have a tutor? Yes. Sadly, we don't have land to cast the mana dork. That's poopy. Let's restart. Oh. Was this deck on a budget? Ah, it was. That's why I don't have crazy lands in it. I was like... So... I feel like I'm crazy enough to keep this hand, because if we get a single land, we're going to, like, actually fly off the hinges. Streamer luck. Oh my gosh. Let's see if streamer luck exists. Land, Lotus Petal, Shadow Spear. Let's see if streamer luck actually exists. We're gonna crack the Lotus Petal and play an Orcish Lumberjack. Next turn. We're gonna tap for Llanowar Elf. We're gonna sack the forest for 3 red. And we're gonna Jessica's Will. We're gonna add oh no, never mind. We don't have our I'm so silly. We don't have our commander out yet. I did that backwards. We don't sack that yet. We don't sack that yet. We played the Llanowar Elf. Awesome. Next turn. Yeah, now we green, sack, make 3 red. Green plus a red. Oh, that's why. We need the 1 more mana. That's why. Okay, cool. Never mind. That doesn't work. Streamer luck not existing. Good. That would have been really dumb if that worked. I would have been actually kind of upset. That would have been such BS. And the crowd goes mild. Oh, we missed previews? That's why everyone wasn't watching at the beginning of the stream. Everyone was watching the Magic stream. Okay, that makes way more sense. That's sad. I'm sad that the Marvel things were bad. So this is a good hand. Like we talked about earlier, we have a sorcery and we have a mana dork. Yes, Blood Pet is a mana dork. I will fight you on that. Don't get me started. Okay, so turn 1, draw. Swamp, Blood Pet, cool. Next turn, mountain, and then we'll pay 2 for Ketis. Dope. Next turn, land. This is really funny, and I do kind of want to do it. Why not? Sack Blood Pet. Jessica's Will. Jessica's Will makes 5 red. And we exile 3 off the top. Honestly, it's really funny and I kind of want to do it. But I won't. We're going to use the red. So we have 5 red and we have a green. I think we're just rampant growthing, grabbing a forest tapped, and then playing out Hammer of Nazan. It enters and attaches to Ketis. That's chill. And we let those stay in exile. That's chill. Next turn, we can play out Ikra. And then we attack, gain life, and we deal 3 damage to all of our opponents. Pretty great. Pretty happy with that. And then we can either Unnatural Growth, which is insane, because then we're gaining 14 life per attack with Ikra. Or we can Rickshars, and we can... Oh, yeah. Never mind. We just Rickshars. Yeah, we do that. Rickshars Expertise. We draw 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we get to play out... Oh! We win! We just win! We got hatred! We gained 14 last turn. And now we're going to go down to 4. Absolutely, Sultran. Holiday season expenses are hard. No worries about dropping down. I totally understand it. I think we had around like a third of people drop out for the holiday season. It's normal. Don't worry about it. Yes, we are doing deck roasts next Monday. That's going to be, I need to put that on the calendar. But yeah, next Monday, we do in fact have deck roasts. My Mondays got freed up. If for some reason my Mondays get taken back over, which I highly doubt it, but if they do, I'll let you guys know. It'll be moved to Tuesday. That was awesome. That was awesome. Rickshars into Hatred is disgusting. That is so awesome. Dude. I love that. Rickshars into Hatred is so stupid. That makes me so happy. There's a combo. Oh, dude, what a fun deck. I hope you enjoy. I think this is so silly. Butts don't lie. That's the name of the deck. Butts don't lie. Lizard butts. Lizard butts don't lie. Oh, it's a snake and a lizard. I just realized. That's so cute. That's awesome. All right. We have one last deck, but I won't get off yet. Once this deck's over, let's go check out what got revealed today on stream. Let's go check out Reddit after this. Let's do some preview lookies. All right. William, let's see what you ordered. Did we already do Emma's deck today? We're missing Emma's deck. Sorry. I just realized Emma's deck didn't show up. So we have 2 more decks. Oh, Emma's deck got moved. That's what happened. Okay. We have 2 more decks today. Sorry, guys. So William. Or I guess we'll do Emma's next. We'll do Emma's. Emma, Firelord Azula. You wanted the new Azula, and you wanted it to be cards in the set. So what I wanted to do was make you a different version, because I did make a Firelord Azula last week, if you remember. But this one, I decided to make Spellslinger. So this one is all about using things like Haze of Rage, Grape Shot, Wild Ride, and crazy stuff to make our commander go boom. Oh, which Atali should not be there anymore. That should be our boy Vivi. So this deck is all about using firebending. Fire Lord Azula has Firebending 2. Whenever this creature attacks, add 2 red mana. This mana lasts until end of combat. Whenever you cast a spell Fire Lord Azula is attacking, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. This card is so freaking busted. Dear God, your opening hand barely matters in this list. It's always going to be cracked. Basically, just make sure you have the ability to cast Fire Lord Azula, and then after that, it's freaking Candyland, bro. Just find a spell you think's fun and keep it. If your opening hand is 4 lands and like a Will of the Jeskai or a Wild Ride or a Tendrils of Agony, bro, have fun. Oh my gosh, you could do so much bull with this deck. It is insane. Call forth the Tempest, Cascade, 8 mana spell. You can cast this crap on like turn 5 in this deck. It is insanity. It is so much fun. This one's 100% better played than talked about. I'm not kidding. It is 100% better played than talked about. I know I say that sometimes on this, but this is just crazy. Okay. Do not, everybody, pay attention. I have to teach this deck while playing it because it is a spell slinger deck. And if I try to tell you how to play this deck while we're just looking at cards, you're going to get an aneurysm. So I need to make sure that I'm explaining it to you properly. You do nothing until Fire Lord Azula is out, except try to get a Fire Lord Azula out. That is all you were trying to do. You are going to draw, and you are going to play a useless land to show you are doing nothing to your opponents. You cast this Shadow Blood Bridge, and they're like, you can't use that. Yes, you do. Do not do anything yet. That is the point. Next turn, you're going to play a land, and you're going to go, haha, Talisman of Creativity. Hee hee. And they're like, okay, bud. You having fun over there? And you're like, aha, yeah. And they're like, okay. Huh. Interesting man that one is. Turn 3. You're just gonna play Azula. Oh, I can play my commander. Yay. I can play my commander. Woo. It's now time to commit war crimes. Okay, next turn. We're gonna play an island. We're gonna attack. We're gonna get Firebending 2. It's time to commit crime. Red into our pool. We're going to cast Faithful Suiting. It says draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. Draw 2, bonk. And then we're going to discard 2 cards. We're going to do Banefire, and we're going to do this island. Cool. Not bad. Took 1 minute. Oh, guess what was that? What was that, Deaf Cat? Huh? You casted a spell during combat? What was that? You get to copy it, baby. Boom. A copy of Faithful Suiting hits the stack. Draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. Bing, bing. Draw 2, discard 2. Oh, my lord. Oh, my God. All right. Discard the Firebending Student. As amazing as it sounds. I know. Don't worry. And then, Born Upon a Wind. We don't need it right now. We're going to need it later, and we can get it back with Will the Jeskai. Guess what, everybody? We're not done. It's still during combat. Let's have some fun. Also, I tapped a blue when I meant to do a red because I looked like I casted Opt. Oopsie poopsie. Let's keep going. Now, we just got a way to ramp. So we're going to cast using one of the red plus a blue, or we'll do another red. Ancestor's Aid. It says target creature gets +2 and gains first strike till end of turn. Copy that. Azula now gets +4 until end of turn. And we're going to create 2 treasure tokens. Treasure. Awesome blossom. Now we're going to cast Opt. And we're going to scry 1. And then we're going to get to do it twice. Scry 1. It's Cascade Bluffs. We're going to put that to the bottom of our library. Bonk. Draw a card. Then we're going to do it again. Bottom of the library. Draw. Sick. We now have 5 mana left, everybody. We have 5 mana. Right? guess what? Time to go to Crazy Town. It's time to go to Crazy Town. 1, 2, 3, 4. Will the Just guy. Choose one. If you control a commander, as you cast a spell, you may... sorry. We don't cast the op. We cast the Born Upon a Wind. Sorry. We needed Flash for Will the Just guy. My apologies. Will the Just guy has Flash now. Comes out. Kind of important to this combo. My bad. It says each player may discard their hand and draw 5 cards, and each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback equal to its cost. So, we now have Flash, and we're getting a new hand. All this goes into our graveyard, and we draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? It's 5, right? Yeah, draw 5 cards. Cool. Now, at instant speed, before the wheel happens, we're going to sack the treasure and Rite of Flame. Get 2 red. And then we copy it. So we get 2 more. Awesome. And Fire Lord Azula allows the copying thing to happen. Now we have the copy on the stack still, and we're going to cast Big Score. Additional cast, we discard a card. Totally fine. We're going to draw 2 and create 2 treasures. We copy that. We lose all that red in the pool, but we gain 4 treasures. And then we're going to draw 2 cards, draw 2 cards. Awesome. And then we discard this hand. And we draw. Unless we want to do anything in the stack, which we kind of do. Snap is really good. So we'll treasure, snap. Guys, do you want me to keep storming off? Because I will. I will do this literally all day. But I'm telling you right now, the game's over on turn 4 already. The game's over. We snap. We get to untap 4 lands because we copy it. Brainstorm, copy. Look at the top 3. Put that on top. Put these back. Draw 3 again. Put those back. Whatever. Like, God, y'all, it's over. So then we discard our hand. Auto graveyard, and we draw our next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my God, we got Gamble. Gamble. Tendrils of Agony. Oh. Put it to hand. Discard at random. Cool. We can now play all these from our graveyard, by the way. Due to Will the Just guy. Rite of Flame. Make 4 mana. Ed Exiles. Big Score. Use all of it. Still having an instant speed. We get to draw 4. We get to make 4 treasures. We get to, what? We could call forth the Tempest now with all the mana we have. GG. GG. I don't want to do the math. We do all this BS. We cast a billion spells and then flash in Tendrils of Agony with Storm and kill the table. Fire Lord Azula is complete insanity. I dare say Fire Lord Azula, if it wasn't for the efficient removal of CDH, could very well be CDH. I think it could contend very well in CDH. But I think there's a lot of things where the top players will be good enough to make sure that Fire Lord Azula never gets to swing. That doesn't happen. But my favorite, this may now be my favorite Spellslinger commander. That's how insane Fire Lord Azula is. And I'm really sad. Really, 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 really sad that there's alt art for it. There is? I didn't know there was alt art. Ooh. I know I'm gonna have to buy this. It's kind of fire. Fire. Hey. Yeah, I gotta I gotta make a deck tech about this, y'all. I love this too much. I gotta make a video. This deck's just crazy. It's too good. I gotta do it. It's so freaking good. God. Yeah, I gotta do it. All right. Our last one of the day before we go over the spoilers that happened today on stream. It's for William. Discord name, Mr. Catbox. William, you asked me for a Ludovic Necrogenius, Olag Ludovic's Hubris. Hi, DefCat. I would like to have a deck that revolves around a mad science, building crazy contraptions, questionable experiments, and a grave robbing. I'd like the deck to use self-mill options with mill opponents and to feature scientists and zombie horror abominations. The rest is in your hands. That's awesome, Goku. I'd like the lab man as an alternate win con, and if it works, the deck Triskaidekaphile as well. So I didn't include Triskaidekaphile because that is not as easy with this deck, but we are going to be showing you what lab man looks like this. Come on, lab man. Oh, I called it lab man instead of laboratory maniac. Am I spelling that right? Laboratory? Lab maniac? I don't know spell. I don't know if you guys knew this. I'm dyslexic. So, there you go. I had added something in Whelming Wave. That's what it was. That doesn't need to be in there. Great. So, you wanted horrors? We got Nemesis of Reason. What laboratory? There you go. That's how I remember it. Laboratory. We got Nemesis of Reason. Whenever Nemesis of Reason attacks, defending player mills 10 cards. The Mind Skinner, Nightmare legendary enchantment creature. Whenever a Mind Skinner cannot be blocked, whoops, we should probably do that so you can read it with me. If a source you control would deal damage to an opponent, prevent that damage, and each opponent mills that many cards. Painter's Servant. All cards that are in play, spells are all the chosen color, and we are going to be using this with Grindstone. Or is it Millstone or Grindstone? Am I dumb? Is it Millstone? No, it's Grindstone. My bad. So, tap it, target player mills 2 cards. If the 2 cards share a color that were milled this way, repeat the process. That means if you mill anyone and Painter Servant's out, that will go infinite and instantly mill them for everything they have. And then we have ways to untap Grindstone with Manifold Key to do it again and do it to the next player. And another really awesome combo in this deck is Brewback Grand Delinquent. If an opponent would mill 1 or more cards, they mill twice that many cards instead. That combined with Maddening Cacophony, each opponent mills 8 cards. If the spell was kicked instead, each opponent mills half their library rounded up. That's their entire library. There's lots of really fun things in this deck. I mean, it is just chock full. We could literally just go over every single freaking card in this list, but let's talk about it in reference to the commander. Ludovic Necrogenius says, whenever Ludovic Necrogenius enters the battlefield or attacks, mill a card. X, blue, black, exile X, target creature cards from your graveyard, and transform Ludovic. X can't be 0. So we get one of these creatures out of our graveyard, and we flip to reveal as this creature transforms into Olag Ludovic's Hubris, it becomes a copy of a creature exiled with it, except its name is Olag Ludovic's Hubris. It's a 4/4, and it's a legendary blue-black zombie. In addition to the other colors, put a number of +1/+1 counters onto Olag equal to the number of creatures cards exiled this way. And we are going to be trying to exile all the cards that we self-mill during our big milling process. And it's very easy to mill ourselves as well. I think this deck goes so hard with that. We do a lot of like myriad milling effects. One of my favorite ways to make sure this deck lands properly is to make sure that you always start the game not introducing the commander as early as you can. It's blue-black. That's awesome. It's 2 mana. I understand everyone thinks you should just immediately slam him on turn 2. The problem with it is people do not like what you're doing. Self-mill and milling other people is something that freaks people out. Highly suggest looking for artifacts in your opening hand. That way other people play something threatening before you start milling, because people will start staring at you awkwardly. I added some pet cards in here for you. Dreamborn Muse. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player puts the top X cards from his or her library into his graveyard, where X is the number of cards in his or her hand. I think this card is dope. Highly suggest it. Very fun in this deck. And it's also a card that I feel like combos really well with the commander. And then Captain the Gathroy. Stealing people's stuff with this thing is absolutely insane. So definitely something to look out for. In general, this deck wins through the myriad of different infinite mill loops like I talked about, or the simple mnemonic betrayal, mind crunk, style gameplay like we talked about earlier with Blood Chief's Ascension. Effectively, you want to deal 2 damage at least 3 turns to your opponents. That way Blood Chief's Ascension gets 3 quest counters on it. When it has those 3 quest counters on it, it goes infinite with Mind Crank, because Mind Crank says whenever an opponent loses life, it puts a card from the top of their library into the graveyard. Blood Chief's Ascension says the reverse. When something goes in the graveyard, they lose life. And that goes infinite with one another. Super good combo. Super fun combo. And it's inevitable, so it's not like your friends are going to get upset. Like, there's setup to it. They're going to see it coming. And then to give you some backup and make sure you're not getting killed, I added the One Ring, so that way you can almost use it as a fog on some important turns later on. And then Notion Thief to stop your friends from outvaluing you. Guys, this has been a wonderful stream. This was my last deck of the day. We're going to go over the new Marvel revealed cards today now. So let's go over to Reddit. Check it out. MTG Marvel. What do we got? Oh. I thought this would quickly get me to that. All right. Do we... Oh, wow. It's not even in the top of the Reddit. Oh, geez. MTG Marvel reveal? Oh, thank you, Earl Maid. There we go. Oh. What is this set symbol? That is so boring. What the hell? It looks so bad. Okay. Oh, we have a saga. All right. The Coming of Galacticus. I like Galacticus. Destroy up to 1 target island permanent. Each opponent loses 2 life. And then you create the 16/16. Okay. That's cool. That's fun. That's a fun card. Yeah, Captain America Super Soldier. Enters with a shield counter. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. It gives everyone hexproof as long as he has a shield counter on him. Okay. All right. Flying, Vigilance, Indestructible. A lot of keywords for a 4-mana creature. When it enters, target opponent creates the Void. Okay, so it creates an enemy. Okay. It's flavorful. Okay. Bruce Banner. Cool. Oh, okay. He's an infinite mill outlet, or infinite mana outlet. Cool. Cool. And then activate him. So he's blue, red, green teamer. Oh. Oh, that's fun. And you can cast both sides. Reach, trample. Whenever the indestructible Hulk is dealt damage, put a +1/+1 counter on him. Oh, you just put 1. Oh, okay. And if he's attacking, untap him. There's an additional combat phase. So if anyone blocks, he gets to keep attacking. So if you ever block him, you instantly get to keep attacking. So you need to put the enchantment on him that says creatures must block this creature. Okay. That's a good card. That's a really good card. Quicksilver Bash Blur. If Quicksilver Bash Blur is in your opening hand, you may begin with it on the battlefield. Oh, this is a standard legal set. That's pretty cool. Dude, that's pretty cool. That's a fun card. Dude, that's kind of lit. And then for 5 mana, turn him into a 2/2 double striker. That's kind of fun, dude. That's fun. Barrett Helmet Zemo. Ooh, 3 black mana and a casting cost. Ooh, I'm getting excited. Let's see if it catches me. Whenever you cast a black spell from your hand, you connive. Bro, that's awesome. What? You connive whenever you cast a black spell? That is so cool. What? Dude, that's cracked. Oh my gosh, I'm picking this card up day 1. Dude. Wait. Oh my gosh. This might be a better commander for my blind reanimator deck. Conniving is just better surveil. Oh my gosh. I think this might actually be better for my blind reanimator deck. Exile any number of black cards from your hand or exile any number of black cards from your graveyard with 15 or more black mana symbols amongst their cost. Copy those exiled costs. Bro, what? That is so cool. Oh my god. This might be my favorite new commander. Holy crap, dude. What? That is so awesome. I'm making a deck tonight for Baron. Oh my gosh. Oh, Anime King. What was the deck name? We did 8-Bit, Andrew, Connor, Ethan, Newt, Nick, Scott, Silver Blitz, Trocket Master, Warzone, Emma, and William. Are you one of those? Dude, Baron Helmet Zemo is nuts. I'm so excited for this card. Oh my gosh. All right, Dr. Doom. Whenever it enters, create 2/3/3 robots. Very cool. As long as you control an artifact, creature, or a plan, Dr. Doom is indestructible. Nice. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card, lose 1 life. That's pretty fun. That's hype. I like that. It was not shown today. It's being covered tomorrow. It wasn't shown today, though. I think... Wait. Hold on. For Danny. Hold on. Let me double check that. Sorry, Danny. Give me a second. Yeah, Danny, yours is being covered tomorrow, although it is almost finished. I'm just making sure to play test it before I send it out. That's all. Oh, it's a Wooburg card. That's cool. 3 blacks, little nuts. Full intense. That's really cool. Super Scroll's pretty dope. More Wooburg commanders. Jeez. Lots of Wooburg commanders. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, if you cast a non-creature spell this turn, draw a card. Okay. Jeez. Ooh! Mr. Fantastic is awesome! What? Bro, Mr. Fantastic is so sick. You draw a card every turn as long as you cast a non-creature spell. That's going to happen. And then you can get to copy triggered abilities with it twice? That's awesome. And he's a Wooburg deck. At the beginning of combat in turn, if you cast a non-creature spell this turn, you can O3 wall. Whenever you attack, you may pay 4. Okay, the Invisible Woman sucks. That's fine. Mr. Fantastic is dope. Human Torch. They're all Wooburg? Okay. At the beginning of combat in turn, if you cast a non-creature spell this turn, it gains Flying, Double Strike, and Haste? Jesus Christ. Oh, and you can make him deal damage to everybody. God dang, bro. The Thing. At the beginning of combat in your turn, if you cast a non-creature spell this turn, put 4 +1/+1 counters on the Thing. Semi-Wooburg. When you do, double the number of each kind of counter on any number of target permanent you control. Brother. I like all color commanders. I have no preference. Genuinely. Oh my god, these cards are good. Okay, yeah, and then the oh, these are the treatments. Oh, Extinction Event. That's awesome. Nice. Yo, the Submariner is dope. World War Hulk. Ha 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 ha. Oh, it's Steve Ellis. Yo, they got Steve Ellis to make it. Awesome. Wow. Yay, more Merfolk support. Yay, we got lots of more Merfolk support. Nice. Oh, Moon Girl Dinosaur. That's crazy. That's cool art. Wow. Oh, that. Ooh, buddy. Yay, we're getting lots of Merfolk support. Yeah, dude. Dude. This is good. This is really good. These are really good new cards. I gotta make a video about this. Oh my gosh. Wow. This is awesome. Captain America's cool. Sentry, cool. Flavorful. Bruce, awesome. Quicksilver, super fun and 60 card. Baron Helmet might be one of my favorite legendary creatures of all time. Oh my gosh. Who's Baron Helmet Zemo? I don't know. I'm just happy we got more Merfolk. Okay. I hope he's got a good alt art. This has got to be one of my favorite black cards ever printed. This has got to be one of my favorite black cards ever printed. This is so cool. It may actually just replace my commander for the Blind Demon. Gosh. I mean, it definitely goes into the 99. I don't know if it replaces it, but like this is insane. Wow. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching today. This was an insane amount of fun. I cannot wait for next stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you to KV for donating today. Very much appreciated, although he's not here. See you guys tomorrow. Have a blessed day. And Merry Christmas. See you guys.